Yo, what's up guys? Camp Flippership. This video is for two people. One is just people who watch my videos and wanted to check it out, but also another person who this video could be for is beginner flippers. So if you are new to this hobby and you wanted to try something or see something that's relatively new, this is a good opportunity to kind of have something that's accomplishable. Because I know that when you're new, there's a lot of stuff out there that feels a little bit overwhelming, like it's a little bit too much, or like, you know, like people are going a little too in depth for, you know, your liking. And so this is meant to be something that's a little bit more toned down, something that's a little more chill that you can probably handle, and something that's also just looks cool and is nice. You know what I mean? Not every trick has to be, you know, amazing, you know what I'm saying? So or like super difficult. Not every good looking trick has to be super difficult. So that's enough introing, because I feel like I've been introing for a fat ass minute, and you know, I don't want you to be thinking that the whole point of the video is the intro. So to show you the tricks that I'm going to be doing, it's nothing like the stuff that you've seen me do in the intro. I'm just kind of doing that to fill time and fill space. But this is the opening, so supers, chill and simple, and then that's the close. So when I first started, actually, why am I telling a story? I just told you the intro's over. I'll tell you the story at the end if you're interested. So let's get right into it. Here's the opening. So this is the fastest, most simple way to open a balisong that a lot of people don't learn. I know a lot of people learn that right there. That's like your basic open. But this one is even simpler, even faster. And in my opinion, it's actually kind of looks cleaner. You can also close the same way. So essentially what you do is you're going to want to grip the balisong, and what you want to do is you want to grip it with the side of your thumb and with this front part of your pointer finger, kind of to where like you can kind of just grip it easily, where it's kind of resting on this part of your hand. And you want to be able to do that, and these fingers that are on the bottom kind of act as like a lever of sorts. And so you're kind of like, you want to just do that a few times and let the weight kind of rock, so you can kind of feel how the weight moves. And so as you can imagine, like when we're holding it in this way, the open is essentially just letting it fly open. If you watch from the side, you can kind of see that. See that? I'm trying to do it slow, but it's kind of hard because the momentum won't carry. But so yeah, so that's essentially it. And as you can imagine, if you're coming from the top, you see that you're here holding it, and this is the position where you let it go. And you know that whenever it lands, your hand is over here, right? Because this has to come across that plane. So if you just do it like naturally, what's going to happen is it's going to come up here. And that's actually okay, because you can get in the starting position and flick it up and see, okay, make a mental line, like a note, like, okay, this is the line from, you know, one side to the other that I have to cross, like distance that I have to make up of moving my hand over. So if I'm here, I know I have to come all the way to this side. And that's kind of a good thing to do. Also, just as a note, this is not like some advanced ass concept. I mean, if your hand's on the side where the blade is pointing, it will fucking stab you. If your hand is on the side where the blade's not pointing, you're good. It'll touch you and you're good. There's literally a move called the chaplain where you can just spin and rotate on that entire part. So it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, so stay on this handle, the safe handle, not the bite handle. Safe handle, bite handle. Okay, anyways. So when you're practicing this, do it on the safe handle. So yeah, so you're on the safe handle, you're gonna flick it up, and you see that's the distance you have to cover. So what I do is I kind of like to, so it's basically a transfer, and you can practice it actually like this, and just move your hand over. So if you're actually holding it with these fingers, like the ones I told you at the beginning, then what you do is, as you're flicking up, you're going to turn your wrist. And when you turn your wrist, you're just honestly, you can kind of get away with just grabbing it like with the bottom side of your hand. And this pointer finger is doing a lot of the heavy lifting, because it's going to be the first one that's going to get underneath. But you also have to know that these three fingers are also useful. So it's really about getting that quick transition of, you know, you're holding it with these, but you also know that you're going to move over. So what I would do if I was you is, without rocking the blade, I would just let go of that handle, practice letting go of that handle and moving your hand over. and let go of that handle and move your hand over. And don't swing it, because if you swing it, that's essentially that's gonna like throw you off. But eventually you'll get to the point where you can kind of just cycle through. But at first you just want to get that part down, right? Just start here and move, and start here and move over, right? Start here and move over. And you want to try to do it smoothly to where, like, see how I do it there and the whole thing moves? You want to be able to do it where it hardly moves. Because what you're going to try to do is, eventually, once you get that down, all you're going to do is just do a little tug towards yourself. So see how it's like this, and I pull towards myself? Look at that. Pull towards myself, and it kind of does the motion for me. So you can actually essentially just kind of go with that transition and do it. Close, transition, do it. And then once you can do it fast, that's essentially the full movement. Ooh, shit, I just cut myself. So yeah, that is one of, oh shit. That's one of the most hallmark ways of doing that. So that's the first part. And as you can see, it's not like the most complicated thing. It's actually like fairly simple, fairly chill. But this next part is going to be a little bit more complicated, but it's going to look a little bit better. So this is the starting position, right? Your balisong is open. So you know, you're here, open it. You did the open that I taught you, and now you're open and you're ready to rock. And so the first thing you have to do is get your balisong in like a flat tabletop position, maybe with a slight turn towards, you know, like a slight turn towards the ground with the blade. But it doesn't have to be anything crazy. And what you're going to do is, this is what it looks like. And you know, you can really smooth it out and get it looking better. But it's one of those closes that looks really nice if you do it nice and smooth. You can do it as an open, but it's better as a close. And so what you do is you just want to practice this. Same thing. A lot of this hobby is just getting the grip in a nice position, like for the tricks that you're going to be doing, and kind of micro positioning your hands. So small movements with your hands are going to be very helpful, because you're kind of just setting yourself up for the next moment, or, you know, positioning yourself to transfer weight in a way that's you know, beneficial. So for this one, I would just practice doing this. So all that is just getting it back open, and the only and you know, you're not closing or anything like that. It's just one movement. So I'm taking it and I'm going like this, and I'm letting it fall, and then I'm just flicking it back up. And you're gonna need to know that kind of like upward flicking motion for this, right? So once you get, that's why I say you practice that one first. It's simpler, and then you kind of get some foundational movement and skills. But that'll kind of help you. And so yeah, here you just want to rotate, and a lot of it is like your wrist. So I'm going to move this to the side for a second. You'll notice like it's more in the wrist than it is anything else. It's, you know, the hand position is going to stay fairly uniform. If anything, you know, you just want, the only transition will just be, you know, again, like I showed you with this one, the hand kind of cups are underneath a little bit more, but not as severe. So you just want to get these fingers involved, right? And even then, they don't really need to be super involved. So it's just a minor movement. But if you don't even do that, you're probably honestly fine, because it's not the end of the world if you don't. But yeah, so fuck, I'm over here getting distracted. So yeah, you're there. That, just practice that over and over again until it feels smooth. And honestly, one thing that can help you is, like, instead of being like this and doing it like so much like that, you can actually honestly start with the blade pointing towards you. I know that sounds sketchy, but it will make it a little bit easier, because you're doing that rotation, right? How the fuck did I manage to do that? That's like, have you ever been playing a video game and like something just glitches and it like fucking flies out of your hand or some like, I gotta watch that on the replay, because that's actually genuinely hilarious how that happened. That's like some fucking Roblox glitch shit. Anyways, so yeah, so you can do it like this, or you can do it like this. You can kind of get away with doing it either way, but it doesn't necessarily matter that much. But either way, you know, it just depends on how you position your hand around the handle, and you'll come to realize that the more you do it. But I would say when you're starting, just pick one, and go off of that. Tabletop might be easier for you, or if you've been doing this one a lot and you've practiced a lot and you've gotten good at it, it might be good to just do it in the position that you finish in, right? Another pro tip for this is that you want to keep your arm in the same position. So you can see my arm here, and the wrist does all the work. So if you'll see, you know, you might feel tempted to get your arm involved, but as you can see, I'm doing this all kind of with my wrist only. And again, I know I told you to, like, you have that, like, that jerking back motion, but it's just lifting up the wrist, right? And just feeling the momentum. Don't try to swing the balisong when it's in the middle of movement. Like, see, it's in the middle of the movement there, and it's not going to work, right? You have to get it whenever you're, like, already with the momentum. So see how that handle's swinging out on the bottom? As it's swinging out, I want to match the speed of it, right? If I try to go faster than it, well, that worked kind of, but if I try to go slower than it or something like that, see that? So you want to at least match the speed of it and try to do that. But yeah, that's one small factor. Whoa. Anyways, but yeah, so yeah, that's the first part. Is just keep that wrist in the same position. So yeah, do that, rotate around, practice rotating around, and once you get that down, this is probably the hardest part of the trick. So you're gonna rotate around, and then what you're gonna do is that. So it's a little bit of a tricky move here, because what's happening is you're gonna come around, and what's happening is this handle, this back handle, not the one in my hand, but the back handle is coming around, and what's happening is you're gonna loosen up your grip here, and it's gonna rotate. See that? So what you can do is just hold it in this hand loosely, and remember that upward flick I taught you, upward flick, and just let it rotate. So don't even see that. Don't even try to do anything. Just kind of to the left side. Just kind of go to the left side and see how it does that. So you just want to get it and have it be. You don't want to do like super where it's like this, but the more like you don't want it like super far here. You want it to be like a little bit further up. See that? Like, so don't have it here. Have it like here. But yeah, super loose grip. And what you'll notice is that, you know, as the momentum of this thing, you get that S-shaped momentum. So it's like, it's here, and then it's here, like a figure eight, you know what I mean? Like an infinity symbol. Like, so if you're just watching my wrist, just my wrist, and I have it here, I'm gonna go, right? Right, so, and so now I'll put the balisong in my hand, and I'll do the same thing, so, right? And you can smooth it out over time, but anyways, so yeah, so there it is. So you'll get to that position. So here, oh fuck, I keep finishing it by accident. Okay, so here, right? But so, and you might practice so much that you get stuck there because you just keep closing it. But remember, so as you come up, don't turn it too much to the right side, because if you turn it too much to the right side, you're gonna finish it, right? But if you turn it to the left side, that weight's gonna transfer over and it's gonna make the handle fall, and then you just flick it up. But try not to have it be in too many parts. So if you're here and you go like that, and then you do this and it falls, and then you flick it up, that's fine, right? That's still like more than most people can do, but it's just like kind of lame, honestly. People are gonna be like, dude, you're a fucking loser. They will literally fucking find you. They will find you and your friends hanging out. They will literally get together. They will find whenever you guys are by yourselves, and they will literally beat the shit out of you. So don't do that. It's happened to me before. It's happened to plenty of friends of mine. They've all gotten the shit beat out of them because of this shit, because people are like, you're a fucking loser. You're a chud. You're lame. So don't do that, okay? So here, and then, yeah, so right there, bring it up close, and loosen your grip. So up, loosen the grip, let it fall. So you just want to be able to practice that. Boom, right? Boom. And then look at that. So notice how now it has so much momentum, it wants to close, like here, right? And so what I'm doing a little bit is like, my grip is loose, 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 tight. Loose, 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 tight, right? Tight when you pull back a little bit to give that extra pull towards it. So that's kind of the similar concept here, is like, I'm tight, loose, loose, tight, right? You'll understand what I'm saying, like when you start to learn the trick more. You kind of want to fluctuate. So that's another factor, is like positioning of the hand, of course, right? Movement of the balisong, of course. But also the level of tightness of grip that you have, no diddy, literally makes a huge difference. So that's something to practice. So, but yeah, so to kind of put it all together, we have your original open. So let's say you're like, you know, you just want to show off a little bit. Here you are. You have it. You're like, oh yeah, I know how to flip a little bit. Boom, right? Whoa, that was quick, right? And then you're like, okay, whatever. Put it away. Okay, so this one, I was gonna recap it, but it's like it's only one movement. So, and I've already kind of talked about everything. So yeah, do that. And then, like I said here, so we're gonna rotate outward and up, out and up with that little movement of your wrist, right? Outward, up, then you loosen your grip, let it come to the back, and it rotates itself, and then bring it up. So altogether, it's gonna be yo, right? And remember, we don't move the arm too much, because if you move the arm too much, it's gonna look dumb. Like, just the second part. The first one, you can move your arm however you want, but so you're here, if you go like this, you're gonna look whack. If you keep your wrist nonchalant and chill, and again too, another thing is like, you want to be like pretty well positioned on the handle. Being a little bit lower is okay on this one. You don't want to be like right here, because it just won't work. You know, it'll work, but it'll look stupid. The weight's not going to transfer, right? So you want to be a little bit lower. Shout out to the people who like stopped watching the video to start practicing and they didn't hear me say that part, because that's low-key like kind of a big part. But yeah, so you just get a little bit lower on the handle, and yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's like all I really have for this particular combo. So, you know, let me know if that was helpful down in the comments. If it was not helpful,